Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a good day. Whatever day this is, I don't know, whenever I put this video out. Today we're going to try to answer the question, what do you do as a top tier scout? I think people struggled with that quite a bit. Jeb, too, asked me the question from Clan LASD. Lays. He's in his LTG Tier 7 Russian light tank. And we are here on Erlenberg Dorf. Himmelsberg Dorf, Erlen. There's a couple kinds of top tier light tank. Let's say you're in a tier 9-10 battle and you have a tier 10 light tank. You're probably swinging to a little bit more of a traditional light tank role. If you're in a 3-tier battle like this, where we've got tier 7s, 6s, and 5s, and you're in your tier 7 light tank, the team is relying on you to be a little more than just a spotter and an assist guy. You need to get your gun in the game. I would say that that is a general truism for any tank at any time, but when you're top tier in a light tank in a battle like this, tier 7, 6, and 5, you really have to get yourself forward and get some shots in. Now, the good news is you're top tier, so even with the anemic light tank guns, you're probably about as good as any tier 6 or tier 5 medium. So right off the bat, you are very medium-esque. All right, you don't really want to tangle with tier 7 mediums, but you get my picture right there, you get my drift. The beautiful thing about a light tank in a situation like this is you carry your camo while you move, and you will notice that Jeb has gone straight forward and started shooting people. And I can't stress enough how important that is in this game. If you want to get good damage, you want to be good at this game, you want to increase your wins, you have to start figuring out how to get your damage early and often without overextending. That's a trick. That's a trick with a light tank because it is a light tank. But Jeb's done a nice job early on. So he comes up here into the castle, and I like his kind of, let's see what's coming at us. Not a whole lot. Takes a couple shots, takes a bit of a risk here to get another shot into the T-78, then backs out of it. Gets away with it a bit. Somebody shot at him and missed. That's a good thing. Get the T-78 out. It's dead. And now the P-43 BIS is raging around over there, gets a piece of him. So as I was watching this the first time, I said, ooh, be careful about leaving your rear end stuck around that corner right there, and he gets punished for it just a bit. All right. Now what? Super Hellcat has pushed way into the northwest. The castle's not a problem. There is an issue over on the east side. The middle is now fully engulfed in a brawl. What do we do now? Let's see what Jeb does. Well, I watched this, I said, well, I know exactly what I would do. Well, first thing is, shot of opportunity. We have a Grill A, Eric O'Brien or Brian or whatever it is. Now he is out of the game. Perfect. All right, Super Hellcat has swept across and proved there's nobody else up there in the northwest of the map. Now what do you do? All right, choose your adventure, my friends. Where do you go? Think about it for a minute. Let's see what Jeb does. I know what I would do. Jeb is pushing in behind the Super Hellcat, and I would ask Jeb right now why. He's already gone through. Didn't take any damage, didn't spot anybody. It is an approach that's going to get you unspotted, but what's the point? For my money, you head straight into town and you add that thing's gun. You bring your gun to bear at the critical point, which is now in the middle of the map. Look at their KV-2 just pushing through like a noob. But we're going to swing around back behind. Now the Hellcat actually gets into the middle and starts doing some nice work on the rear of those guys, so to speak. Jeb looks like he's thinking about it. He looks at him. I think maybe it's about here you realize, oh, maybe I can move up the middle. So we carve in here and we start getting in. So the instinct to get into the middle fight is good. I just think it was late. And that goes back to what I was discussing earlier about what do you do with a top tier light tank. You have to look for opportunities to get to the critical fight and add your gun into it. So you're actually going to be a little bit late. Your guys do a nice job taking down everything that's in the middle right there. Then we get a little bit distracted. We see this guy sitting up here. I think we get some damage off of him, which is always good. No, we get a ricochet. Waiting for the reload, and he goes behind a building. So we really didn't get anything out of this. We do clean up the middle. Now let's pause again. Choose your own adventure. This is kind of weird. This was an assault map, which I didn't mention. We are on the attack, but 1, 2, 3, 4 of their tanks, 4 of what they have left, are all down there in the south. And a bunch of our guys are going to push down and go after them. The 3001H is actually up over here. So let's see what Jeb does. He spins around. And really you have two choices here, guys. Go help clean up everything that's down there in the south, or head to the cap and see if you can't either cap it out, not my favorite, or at least kill the things that might be camping back by the cap. And it kind of looks like a Rumpelstomp on the way, but honestly it's really not. Look at the hit points, they're the same. It's 6 to 6. We have a really good position as far as the attack goes on the map, but if they clear out some of our guys down the south pretty quickly, it can go to a losing situation. So we've really, our team is kind of haired off in multiple directions. We are starting to get a bit of a push over here, although we just lost our 3001. And here comes the Skoda T25 and bizarrely the artillery, or perhaps smartly the artillery. Looks like he saw the guys pushing in, so he's no kidding moved into the north. I didn't notice it the first time I did my my view on this as I watched this through the first time. I did not notice that the M44 had actually come up here, and he's going to become important in just a moment for what's about to happen. So notice what I talked about. If the middle goes poorly and things start to die, which that's exactly what has happened right here. The attack on the guys that pushed into the south didn't go so great, and all of a sudden we have a bit of a situation developing here, my friends. A bit of a situation is developing, and I have a fly. Get out of here, you dumb fly. All right. Yeah, get out of here. So Su-85, down he goes. There is an artillery, so we do want to scoot around a little bit. And while no kill cap all is not my favorite mantra in the game, I think you're probably doing more or less the right thing at this point. Really, to be honest, I think if you had moved into the middle earlier, you might have had a better chance at killing off some of those guys while you still had some tanks in there and some hit points. That move down to the south sort of let that thing get a little bit out of control, in my opinion. As a top tier light tank, you really need to get in there and help at the critical points. When you finally did get in there, it was over, but they'd actually snuck through and killed some of your guys, and then as your team chased, they didn't do really a great job of cleaning these guys up. So now what we're left with, since we didn't do that, is more of a cap situation here, which is what we're going to see. I like, as the light tank, getting up here and trying to see what's going on, maybe catch the returners. They do have, well, they had a Chaffee, but he died. We do find somebody coming at us. I think the 3001H, who has decent speed. He actually comes in and attempts to do something, but he's a little late. And we get the cap out of this thing and end up securing the win. Something you have to think about when you're on assault is you only have so much time. You really have about half the game left right here, but running around trying to take on a 3001Hs and a bushed up T25AT. I think he's up on that hill, by the way, because a shot came in there as well. Plus the artillery doing the reset thing. Best idea now is to grab that, and that is something you can do because of the camo and the speed on light tanks. You also got the M44 who added in and made it happen, because you got 3 on cap, and the Skoda T25, which is also a fast tank. So you end up with the win. Nicely done there. I thought the initial position was good. Get up there, get shots, use the light tank's ability to see things and to be camoed up to get there. Took great advantage of that west flank, especially in the northwest there, on taking out what few tanks they sent that way. My only big issue would be I would have crossed straight across over to the middle and put my gun into the fight right there, as opposed to making the long run around, which I think allowed the enemy team to stay in it a little bit more. Had you gone in there and jumped all over them with the rest of your team, they would have found many fewer of their tanks would have spit out down to the south and been able to cause your guys issues down there. But as it was, you got them split apart, and we end up with the cap win. So nicely done. So there you go, guys. A little example of what to do as a top tier light tank. You really need to be able to transition from light tank to medium tank. That's really the bottom line right here, and it's that move from the castle into the middle where you're going to swing to a medium tank role, which would have been critical to probably make this a little more comfortable win. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. Jeb, good game, man. 1,507 damage, 266 assists, and I believe 2 kills along the way. That's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.